A lot of people say, oh, I only eat once a day or twice a day. I really don't eat that much. I don't know why I'm fat. Well, apparently you are eating too much. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sekia. If you are new here, I talk about fitness and nutrition and everything in between. And I also have a little sense of humor. So if that sounds like your thing, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Okay, so I want to jump right into today's video. We're going to be talking about caloric deficit, what that looks like, what that means, what it might look like for you, and are you eating too much or are you eating too little? We all know that working out is really good for you. It's good for your heart, it's good for your body. But when it comes down to your actual physique and what you look like, nutrition plays the biggest part. If you are gaining weight or if you are bigger than what you would ideally like to be, that means you are eating too much. Maybe not on a day-to-day basis, but consistently you are eating too much. Same thing if you're trying to gain weight or if you're trying to gain muscle because maybe you're just on the leaner side and you don't really like how skinny you look or whatever, you're not eating enough. If you want to lose weight, you need to eat less than what you are currently eating. If you want to gain weight, you need to eat more than what you are currently eating. Trust me, I understand it's easier said than done. Hopefully the tips I give you today will help you no matter where you are in your fitness journey and just give you a little bit more clarity. I sure wish that I had this when I was starting my fitness journey 5 years ago, but better late than never. Of course, I am not a doctor or a registered dietitian, so everything that I say in this video today is for educational and entertainment purposes only. But for the most part, I am always right. A caloric deficit simply means that you're eating less energy, because remember, food is energy. So you're eating less food than your body needs to maintain the current weight that you are at. So everybody has an eating maintenance window. Thus, a deficit means you are eating less than that maintenance window, and a surplus is you are eating more than that maintenance window. I always preach that no two bodies are alike, so that's going to differ for every single person because it's based on height, weight, age, physical fitness activity, just naturally how your genetic makeup is. So, you know, it's very important that you're not comparing yourself and comparing what other people are eating around you or online, because literally like the same thing is not going to work for two people unless you're like an identical twin. Now when you're trying to lose weight, people think that you have to cut out so much of your food, and I'm gonna stop you right there. You don't know what you're talking about. And honestly, a few years ago, I was in your shoes, young grasshopper, but I'm gonna enlighten you today. You don't want your caloric deficit to be so drastic, okay? So let's say like a random number, your caloric maintenance window is 2,000 calories. You don't want to just cut your diet in half and only eat 1,000 calories. That's very unhealthy. That affects digestion, hormone levels, stress levels, energy levels, everything you name it. So if you're cutting your calories literally in half, your body isn't going to be using the little food that you are eating effectively to meet your fitness goals. You want your deficit to be anywhere between 200 to 400 calories, definitely no more than 500. And honestly, anything more than that, you're gonna have cravings, and at the end of the day, you're just gonna binge and like eat a bunch of junk, drink soda, etc., etc. You want to eat enough so you are remaining satiated throughout the day, and you feel like at the end of the day, when it's time to go to bed, you've had a good abundance of food and healthy food. So what does that look like exactly? And I'm gonna share my screen because I really want you guys to see it and better understand it. There's also several other websites that you can use. And remember, of course, all this stuff is an estimate. Nothing is exact, nothing is perfect, unless you like literally go to a specialized doctor with specialized machines for this. But for the most part, these numbers are safe to follow. All right, so right here we have a macro calculator. Macros are the major food groups that you need throughout the day, which are fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. After a while, and after your experience, and after you know what you like to eat and what works for you, you don't really have to count your macros that much anymore. This is an excellent place to start. I live in the US, so I am going to use US units, and this is just going to be a hypothetical situation. This isn't me, but just to give you an idea. All right, so let's say you are 29 years old and you are a female. The average height of a female, I think, is like anywhere between 5'3" to 5'5", so I'm just gonna put 5'4". Shout out to my short girls. Let's say you weigh 170 pounds, which is typically a little overweight for somebody that's 5'4". So your activity level, this is extremely important that you are honest with yourself in this portion. If you are only working out once or twice a week, do not put that you are active or moderately active, because you're just going to be overeating, you're lying to yourself, and you're not going to see the results that you want. And the great thing I like about this website, if you're not sure exactly where your activity level falls, it'll give you an idea here. So for the sake of this video, I am going to start with your BMR. This is how many calories you need just to survive. Like I said earlier, everybody has a maintenance window. All right, so for a balanced approach, this is an estimate of how much you need to maintain your current weight. So the calories can be found right here, which is under food energy. That's literally just under 1,500 calories. So as you can see, if someone is just trying to maintain their weight, they're not really active, you don't need that much food. 1,400 calories is not a lot of food. You can literally have that in one sitting. Like if you go to brunch on Sunday, if you drink a lot of alcohol or drink several glasses of alcohol, some chicken and waffles, that's your calories for the day in one sitting. If you go out to eat a lot, most restaurants, like if you get pasta or anything like that, it's gonna be well over 1,000 calories in that meal because restaurants cook with a lot of butter and oils. And of course, if you're eating more than this, then you're gonna be gaining weight and you're gonna continue to gain weight. All right, so this video is about caloric deficit, so I'm going to adjust these numbers for the same hypothetical female, but I'm going to change the activity level to moderate, and I'm going to change the goal to weight loss, 1 pound per week. You know, you can do extreme weight loss, 2 pounds per week, because that's the maximum, but I think it's a more realistic approach to do 1 pound a week, just because you still want to have a life. You know, maybe you want to have a cheat day, maybe you just didn't feel like working out. All right, so as you can see here, if you're working out more, you need to eat more. 1,600 calories is a decent amount of food for a woman that's 5'4". So let's divide that really quick into, say, 4 meals. 4 meals is a really good number to aim for because you want to spread your protein consumption out throughout the day. You don't want to just have like one large meal. That's how your muscles respond best to protein synthesis. 1,670 divided by 4, 417 calories per meal. And just for my busy people that can't get 4 meals in a day because maybe you have kids, maybe you have a really demanding job. So let's just say you can only eat 3 meals a day. So that's 1,670 divided by 3, which is 556 calories. That's a good amount of food still. Okay, so let's break down these macros really quickly because this is important as well. Protein. This is a range, of course. You don't need to hit 102. You might only hit 70 some days. Some days you might go a little over depending on what you're eating. But the goal is 102. I always say in general, a good rule of thumb for protein is closer to the 100 range. If you're working out hard, it's really counterproductive to not get enough protein consumption in. Carbohydrates. Oh my God, I literally don't understand why when people want to lose weight that they just say I need to cut carbs. Like that's literally the exact opposite. If you want to be technical, when you're doing like HIIT training and stuff like that, like your body taps into your glycogen storage and that's where that energy comes from, make you go harder and to push harder and get through the workout. So if you're not eating carbs, then you're gonna be very, very sluggish. So for this hypothetical female that I'm using, look at all these carbs that you need to lose weight, right? Like, don't be scared of carbs. Eat the whole grain pasta, eat the whole grain rice, eat oatmeal, eat sweet potatoes, eat regular potatoes. The problem with carbs are things like pizza, French fries, hamburger buns, like that are topped with grease and butter. Like those things are the carbs that you need to stay away from, of course. And fats. Fats are tricky because you don't need a lot of fat. You need fat, but not a lot. Fat calories add up quickly, such as olive oil. Olive oil is still a fat. So nuts are a healthy fat, but you know, a handful of nuts or even like a little bit of peanut butter, those fat calories add up. So just be careful with that, but you definitely want to still incorporate some good healthy fats in your diet. So I want to touch on lifestyle a little bit because I think this is where a lot of people kind of fall off or get a little bit confused. Earlier I said people like to say like, oh, I don't even eat that much, I only eat twice a day. Okay, well, you're still eating more than your body needs. And to add insult to injury, like y'all are bullshitting on the weekends. Like you can't eat a healthy diet all week and then on Saturday and Sunday you out drinking all day, bottomless brunch, chicken and waffles, mimosas. Like you're not in a caloric deficit. So even though you're only eating once or twice throughout the week, maybe you are in a caloric deficit, but if you are in a caloric surplus every weekend, you're not going to change. There's going to be no change. Like that's why you get fat, period. But don't be an idiot. Like don't eat one meal a day. Like, oh, I need 1,700 calories per day, so I'm just gonna eat once a day at 1,700 calories. Like, no, don't do that. Split it up, use your brain. From an early age, we learn like you're supposed to eat 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. Like that didn't just come from anywhere. I have a food scale here. I have this from Amazon. They're anywhere from $7 to $12, maybe $20. You turn it on and you can change the units from grams to ounces. If you feel like you don't have any time to measure your food, I understand that too. Like I didn't always have a scale. I've only had this scale for like less than a year. But the protein needs to be the size of your palm, okay? The carbohydrate needs to be the size of your hand, all right? And then the vegetables, of course, could be endless. And fat needs to be like literally like the size of your thumb, like that amount. All right, so I'm gonna even go the extra mile and put a little image on the screen for y'all so you can see, look at your plate, okay? Like I have some protein, I have some carbohydrates, I have some fats, I have some vegetables, water. Make sure you're drinking some water. What I want you guys to take from this video is that it's not about cutting a bunch of food and starving yourself to lose weight. It's not what it's about, right? It's about fueling and feeding your body what it needs to do what you want it to do. As for that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed what you see. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and I will see you guys next time.